Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's Pick a Read. This week's subject is what is coming next, in whatever scope that might be. The decks I'm going to be using are The Secret Language of Color Cards by Inna Segal, The Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco, and The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. I think this is the only one without the "the" in front of it, but there you go. Alright, I've already shuffled, but let's create the piles. So, we'll start with this one. That'll be the second pile. Third pile, trying to do my best to keep them in frame. Fourth pile, fifth pile. Okay, so 5, 6. There's a seventh one. No, yes, no, no. Alright, so I think we're good. Let's do the next pile. Alright, that's what we'll do for that pile, and the color cards here. Alright, so let's get these together a little bit better and get the last pieces on them. Per normal, I'm going to put these wherever they need to go. Alright, and here's the stones we're going to be using. I'm assuming I'm remembering how I did this. 2 seconds pass by and I forget how I ordered them. 1, I want to say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might have screwed that up, but that's how I'm going to do them. Of course, the below there should be the rock, what the rock is, along with the time that goes with it. So we're going to start off with Rainbow Hematite. Rainbow Hematite it seems to be getting your strength back, I'm noticing. It's like if somebody else took your power from you, or you feel somebody took your power from you, it's like taking it back. I'm noticing that more and more. It feels more healing to me. I've seen it referenced as like a stone to control others, but I also feel like it's a stone to get your control back. To get your own self-worth back. It's like if you feel somebody took it from you or you feel unempowered, to ground yourself, know what's really here, and get your own strength back and get your control back of you. So we're going to go into this with that in mind. What are we doing? I feel like we got like this, hard to get, like there's like a weird feel here. Those 3. Okay, so is this all in? Yes, it is, for the most part. There we go. So if you chose the hematite, the rainbow hematite, and I'm going to put it right over here just so it's not in my way. What do you have? If I can flip the cards. Okay. Got some... Oh. Okay, so... what is coming next? Now you got magenta. Magenta is a very rich, deep, this is very deep emotion to me. This is very heartfelt. So something very important in a love sense. It could be family. If it's friends, these are friends that are very near and dear to your heart. Or it could be a partnership like in a romantic way though, but this is definitely very close to your heart. This means a lot to you. This is what's coming in next. And I feel like you have some new plans coming forward. So what's coming next? You have some new plans coming forward. This doesn't seem too shocking. The message here is share with others. Share with others. I feel like you have a lot of good things coming for you. So what's coming next? A lot of good things that you seem to be aware of. But I'm getting like sharing these times with other people. Like, for example, if you got a new car or a new vehicle, you take people places in it. Create situations where you're going places. Share with others. I'm getting this, like you have something new coming into your life. But you seem to be well aware of it. It's just they're saying sharing it with those you care about. People know you have something coming. Something seems to be going very well for your life. I'm also getting for you who have gotten more involved in work aspirations. Be careful not to make it all about work. Coming forward, they're saying there's a lot here that's going your way. There's a lot here going for you. The lilac is making me feel like you want to take your time and enjoy it, and just maybe keep what you have very secure and stable, but don't make it all about the work. I'm feeling for the people who chose this, you have a lot going on in your life. They're highlighting, like, enjoy those people that mean the most to you. Not people you feel like you're obligated to be around, people you want to be around, people you enjoy being around. The scrying here, it makes me feel like you're so caught up in obligations, or even taking care of those relationships you feel like you have to maintain so things work out, or taking care of other people that you sell yourself short, and the people around you who mean the most are feeling a little left out. The people that you want to hang out with. I know there's a couple of people I know, I'm thinking of somebody in particular, she has sisters, and she loves hanging out with her sisters, but this is going on in her life, or that has to get done, or this has to get done. And she races and struggles to take some time, or when everybody's getting together, to show up so she can be there for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. Then she has to run off and do something else. This is saying if that is your type of lifestyle where you're struggling to find that time, they're saying, seeing this come forward, like what is coming next, they're saying opportunities are coming. Carve out a whole day if you have to. If you would normally spend an hour and a half with these people, make it a priority that you spend at least 3 hours, if not 4, with these people as much as possible. Give yourself more time, because these are the times that matter the most. These are your joyful times. I'm getting, like, whatever your responsibilities are, you've got the 8 of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the King of Wands. Other people seem to be trying to pull you away and saying, no, you got to give your time to us. No, you owe us your time. No, you must help us. If you get a little creative and you make it look like, I know somebody used to do this. She used to say she had doctor's appointments or therapy appointments or some type of, like, mental health appointments. I think she was very creative to where it wasn't technically a lie that she was saying she was busy, but she would carve out this time and she would make it look like it was a legitimate in the sense of, like, technical, where these people would accept it. Because I feel other people trying to take your time from you. Other people trying to take you away from the joy that you could expect. They're saying what's coming next is you could miss out on some really good times with people that you deserve and you should have. The watermelon here too, this is a very joyful, loving, good energy. This is a very nourishing energy. Like, when I think of watermelon, like, you know, when you need to renourish or replenish your electrolytes, I don't know if that really does that, but it's got a lot of water in it, and water is a very healing element in my opinion. This is a really good thing here. This replenishes your soul, gives you something to hold on to when you have to go into the next stage. When you have a lot going on in your life and people are so demanding, you have these moments to look back on. Not only this one moment you should spend more time here, but you should plan going forward, making these moments more priority, because they're very rejuvenating for you. It makes your life a lot better, and it makes when you are involved with these other people, it makes you stronger, and it's easier for you to do what you have to do. So going back again, what is coming next? They're saying what's coming next is you could miss out on some of this situation, some of these good things that you need. And they're saying this is really important. This really shouldn't be treated as an elective. When you're enjoying yourself, you regenerate your soul, you strengthen your soul so you have more energy and more clarity to do what's next, and you do a better job when you have to deal with this more demanding energy over here. All 3 of these make me feel like the 8 of Swords is like these people trying to impose upon you what you have to do, trying to tell you have no choice. You can't spend time with that. You can't spend time with family. You owe us. You have to do with what we want. And there's this little spying energy here. I'm also saying with what's coming next. Be careful. People directly in contact with this situation that's very demanding, don't tell anybody, I would say, what you're really doing. Because the Page of Swords can be a spying energy and can use this information against you with someone else to get ahead themselves. So you don't have to tell everybody, even if they're your closest friend and you usually tell them everything, you don't have to tell them this. I would just be careful, because I'm seeing a spying energy around this, and they're saying what's coming next also is like you could have somebody using this information against you, saying, oh, they're just going to a family thing. They can blow that off. They don't have to do that. and telling this other person, which doesn't have to be a male, but could be anybody who's trying to get you to do what they want you to do, not what you want to do. So be aware of that too. Even if it's a good friend, I'm just getting like maybe, you know, loose lips sink ships. Is that how that goes? They may not be planning to use information against you, but they might just get talking or jabbering off at the jaw. Sometimes people get a couple drinks in them and they're just telling the whole world your business. Don't tell them. Just don't tell them. I don't feel like it's a big deal. I just feel like just make it a non-issue. Just keep walking around it. Just don't tell them. You don't have to. That way this doesn't get pulled out from under you. Again, that's with the rainbow hematite. Claim your own power. Even if you're very close to somebody, doesn't mean you owe them everything that you're doing. It doesn't mean you have to always tell them everything that you're doing, especially if they're very connected to this situation that's very demanding. Keep it to yourself. And tell the people you're going to hang out with that you very much care about, like, you know, keep this to yourself. Don't tell the people we're going to do this, because I'm doing my best to make this happen. And if nobody really knows where I'm going, it's going to be a non-issue. I can work around this a lot better. I feel like the message is here. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so that's number 1. I actually like how that message went, so I'm very happy with that one. I feel like that was an uplifting one. I feel like it took a minute to actually get into what we need to talk about, but it's there. All right, so let's go into the next. I'm going to try to put these over to the side so I can put them back together correctly later. Clear quartz. Usually an amplifier. Usually brings more energy into what you're already dealing with. What does this say? Does this say abandoned ship? I wrote abandoned ship. Oh, for the love of Pete. Let's see where this is going. I think it's amazing how a lot of these I write down. Like I'm going through the meditation or whatever, and I'm channeling the information right before I start. You know, and you've seen I go 5 seconds, and I'm like, "What's my name? How did I get here? Who are you people?" Isn't that great? It's so fun. Let's just flip the cards and see what we got going on here. Yeah. 10 of Swords. I don't know anybody who's like, yeah, I want that in my life. This is feeling like this is actually... This is your warning. 10 of Swords, that's minor arcana. Okay, so either way, I see what they're saying is something coming next, based on how it started, is destined for a rough moment. But I feel like your connection to it, you don't have to be so directly damaged by the situation. Let's see how it goes. Because we got all these color cards in the situation. Like I feel like they're saying the situation itself is just what it is. Things are going on around you. There's communication. I feel like that red, I actually getting some anger. I don't know what it says at the bottom there. Free yourself from pain. Yeah, you know. Yeah, somebody might be freeing themselves from pain by actually venting out what they're thinking. This could be quite the situation. Because I'm getting like there's communication starting this. And I'm seeing the skeleton on your side. Like, there's only so much you can do. You're trying to hold the situation together. And you're just trying to do what's right. I feel like it's quite, like whoever's talking is quite vocal. And I feel like you're just trying to hold the situation together. With the skeleton, I feel like you're trying to just hold the situation together. Now, you're hearing it coming forward. I'm noticing we got this clear quartz, like with you right here. They're saying abandoned ship. I'm getting when this actually starts hitting the fan and this person first starts talking. And then they start acting out, and it gets really rough. And it's subject to your situation, but I'm getting it gets really rough. This person feels like they're out of control to me. When I'm getting the clear quartz, I feel like they're really amped up. They're really amped up, and I feel like it's out of control. Like they're just like the system seems to be juiced up. Like either somebody else is amping them up or egging them on, but you're not able to stop it is what I'm getting. That's what they're saying. This has kind of got a life of its own. I kind of feel the best that you can do is just kind of step out. The Queen of Cups is telling me you definitely care about the situation, but they're saying sometimes the best way to peace is to just keep your P's and Q's to yourself momentarily, not permanently, but they're saying for right now, The situation is out of your control. Instead of helping, you might just get dragged in and get bruised up yourself a little bit. So at this point, at this time, for this moment, it's saying step out, let the situation settle, let the dust settle, and afterwards you may have a chance to do something else. Because I do get the Ten of Swords happening. I'm getting it's the way it's hitting. I would like to say you could get around it, but they're saying it's either you're directly involved and you have your own Ten of Swords moment, or it's by proxy, you're watching this person, what they've done, what they've decided to do, how amped up, how bad the situation got, and you're very upset about what you're seeing. But what I am getting is from this very vocal moment where the anger is being expressed, green does come forward. Green for me is a healing energy. It says revitalize your nervous system, but to me it's a very healing energy. It's connected with the heart chakra. I believe that healing starts with the heart. That's how I feel. So, if you don't believe that, that's cool. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from and how I'm reading this. Healing starts here, and I feel like they're saying that this situation going crazy, out of control, because it really feels like it's going way over the top, is going to get better. It's going to have the chance to heal. You're going to also notice there's like this break here, which I may have done while I was reading them, but still, I do feel like there's a moment here where they have to get themselves together. The dust has to settle. I don't feel you really a part of the healing. I do feel healing here, though. And I get that people, like whoever this is, looking back, seeing what got them going, seeing what they were really upset about. I don't see you directly involved with that for those who are watching, but I do see like it's affecting you. The reason they're saying is they're saying there's a lot of healing going on behind the scenes that you might not see. I'm hoping that this is just one of those things you can take some faith, looking at it by proxy, seeing how people are getting along down the road, seeing how things do seem to be improving. But they're saying for you, save yourself some anxiety, save yourself some stress, some bruises, possibly, maybe literally. When it starts getting really bad, this is your moment to step out because the situation's already out of control. Later on, you could come over and try to help heal or rebuild. But I think the difference here is, like, for example, if you have somebody getting right involved in a situation and they're a builder, if the builder's getting beat up and they have to have their bone, like if they break a bone or have bruises and this and that they have to heal from, as the builder, you'd have to heal before you can actually get back into this and start rebuilding the situation. If you step out and let the situation finish off and the dust settle, it's the difference between tomorrow getting back involved and helping rebuild, or waiting 6 to 8 weeks for your body to heal so you can get back into it and heal and rebuild it. You know what I mean? If you step out, you can help heal it the next day. If you stay involved, it may be 6 to 8 weeks before you can actually get back involved and start healing it. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like that's where that's going. They're saying step out. When it gets really rough, just because it's bad, just because you care, doesn't mean you have to get beat up in the situation. Step out, hold to the side. When the dust is settled, you can get right in and help cleanup efforts and healing efforts instead of having to go through your own healing before you can get involved and help this situation heal. All right, I think we're good there. So that was the clear quartz. So we're going to pick these up. And let's see what we have next. All right, so we got rose quartz. I think a lot of people know that rose quartz is usually about love, bringing in love energy. It's very active, very passionate. And this is a big hunk that I got here. It's one of my bigger hunks that I have. And I love the rawness of it. So I almost feel like they're saying something with the rawness of this too. Like it's the raw love, it's the raw feelings here. Let's see what we got coming. What do we got? Alright, I almost feel like it's before and after. I feel like we got before and afters going here. Let me move that down a little bit so that we can see. Alright, you got why not try in the middle. It feels before and after. Let's see. Coral, it's usually fun. Let's see where that goes. Page of Wands. Ghost. Maybe somebody being ghosted. Yep. What is that? Three of Wands. It's not too bad. Does it say Hearth? Okay. And we got this All right, so I feel like they're saying the why not try in the center is with the rose quartz is like how much this situation means to you may depend on how much it heals. I'm getting what's coming next is a situation that you're left out of. You're left out of something. Especially the way these cards are coming in. There's like I feel like there's a lot of people getting together and you've been left out. And I feel like you're very upset about this. The question is why? Why are all these people having fun and why are you on the outside of it? Because I feel like you were left out. The Page of Wands is telling me like, I feel like somebody started putting something together and it got away from them. And it's almost like one of those things where somebody puts out an invite to one of their friends and then somebody invites somebody else. And it's just like when people are touching base or hanging out with each other or see each other in the supermarket or wherever they may be, they're like, oh yeah, we're going here. Are you going there? I didn't know that was happening. Like, yeah, I think you're invited. You should just come too. Like, I feel like it's one of those things where people are just inviting people as they see them. And I don't feel like it was meant to be insulting. I don't feel like anybody purposely forgot you. But people are getting together, and I just feel like the invitation was not extended to you, and it just seems very strange. Again, I don't feel anybody really looking at the guest list and see who was and who wasn't invited. I just feel like people aren't talking about it unless they're right in front of you, like, or the subject comes up. You know what I mean? So I feel like people who are involved with the situation, you may have seen them in the past few days or whatever, and they just didn't mention anything. It just didn't come to mind. Either that or they didn't realize what was really happening. They just assumed you would be there. Because I feel you left out. I feel people having a lot of fun. And it bothers you. It definitely bothers you. It's kind of like I can't believe I was left out of this situation. Why not try with the rose quartz is telling me, find out what happened. Because I feel like this was not supposed to happen this way. I feel like it wasn't meant to be an insult. I just feel like something was a little strange. I will be honest. I am catching in like somebody might be trying to push you out, but I don't feel the other people involved were aware of it or even knew what was going on. Like I don't feel like people knew. So if you get involved and try to find out from the people who went, like, oh, I would have loved to have gone. I wish I knew. Something like that, just starting the conversation, like, oh, sounds like you guys had a lot of fun. I wish I was there too. Something like that. I feel like it'll come forward where they'll say, like, I didn't realize you weren't invited. I thought you were. I'm sorry. I mean, I would have loved for you to be there too. I feel like it'll come out in the wash if you get the conversation going. The why not try? Get the conversation going. You'll find out why. Like, just nobody meant to do that. And if there is one little rotten apple in the group, if there is, it'll be very apparent to all the other people, and I feel like this will protect you from being left out in the future because the majority of people involved do not want you left out. People do very much care about you. This is definitely a misunderstanding. If there is a rotten apple in the bunch, if there is, this will bring it forward and it will highlight it to the other people involved who do want you included, and they will protect you and make sure you're included because they would really have liked you to have been there. So this why not try with the love is like put it out there. Just put it, oh yeah, I heard you guys had fun. I would have loved to have been there. Something like that. The truth will come forward. This will protect you. It'll make you feel better. It'll also make other people feel better that they can keep you included. Because you being on the outside of this and being left out, I know that you didn't like it, but I feel like other people, once they realize what happened, they don't like it either. They want you included. Because you got the hearth with the Three of Wands. Going forward, people want you included. And going forward, they're going to make sure, as long as you communicate, like, oh, I would have loved to have been there. Well, as long as they know, like, oh, hey, we need to make sure so-and-so is included. Because this isn't, last time they got left out, and I don't think that's right. I like that. I like it when they're around. I would like them to be there. They're a part of this. So, you know what I mean? People will be looking out for you. Are we good? I feel like this is abruptly ending because I feel like all you have to do start the conversations. Oh yeah, I heard you guys had a good time. I would have loved to have been there. I just didn't know it was happening. And just coming in a positive mood, a good mood about it, especially if you bring it in with positive energy, people are going to look out for you going forward because I feel the majority of people would have liked you to have been there too. I think that's it. Okay, I think that one was good too. I like that one. I think these seem to be very nice today. These picker reads are very nice today. I'm very happy about that. Because quite frankly, until we start flipping cards, I have no idea what's going to come out with this situation. All right, so now we got the citrine. Citrine, especially this one, it's about your God center, in my opinion. Like goddess, God center, your true feelings, how you truly feel, what you truly want. There's something else with this, and I'm like, because I feel you like coming into your truth here. Holding to your truth, being like self-loyalty, I think that's personal loyalty, self-loyalty. Like, I've heard it often said, and I very much do believe it, if you can't be loyal to yourself, you really can't be loyal to anybody else, not truly. So for example, if you have feelings about, what's right or wrong, or about this issue or about that issue, and you let somebody else walk all over you, and you just agree with somebody to agree with them, yet you really don't feel that way, like self-loyalty, if you don't have that, like, I really do believe that if you can't be loyal to yourself, you can't be loyal to anybody else. I think I did do these all upside down, but we'll find out. Okay. Is that the two of wands? I thought that was a tower at first. I was like, geez. Call for reinforcements. You got the sun card at the end here too. I like this. I think this is going to go well, but I feel like it's saying, be careful. Be careful what you're getting into. It doesn't. I don't feel this is guaranteed. This is saying your participation, calling in reinforcements, could lead to this really good situation. Let's go a little farther and find out. Because again, it's sticking with what you really feel, what you really believe, self-loyalty. You got Brilliance and Apricot. Now, these two cards, I feel like something is getting washed away here. Discover your sparkle is what this is about. I'm feeling like it's washing away some negativity. What's coming next is some negativity is washing away. Something's coming forward. I feel like there's a good moment here, actually, but it's almost like there's like people hanging out, people like meeting at a bazaar or some type of event, and somebody says something that really just brings forth the truth of a matter. And I feel like it's kind of one of those things where people kind of smile with a grimace, like, yeah, that's true, and that's how it is. People seem to be reacting fairly well, but I feel like the truth is like washing away this pain. Somebody's addressing something that was not very pleasant. People around are acknowledging it and trying to do their best just to kind of like, yeah, that's how it went. That's what happened last time, or that's how this situation is going. I feel like this is like honoring the truth. The Brilliance into the Apricot is like honoring the truth, and people trying to be optimistic about it is what I'm feeling here. Trying to be like best possible scenario. So this is what this is starting with. Now this is the situation. As it comes in, people are saying this is what happened and trying to get along with it. Trying to just best foot forward. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that was the situation. It was not the best. But now hopefully things go better from here. Now I'm seeing you start off with the joy. You seem to be right in with this group to start with. The darkness has been addressed. Somebody brought it forward and said how it's going to get better. It's almost like somebody going to jail or something like that. Like, yeah, they got caught. They're in jail now, but at least they've stopped using drugs. Something like that. It's kind of like one of those feelings, and people kind of grimacing like, yeah, at least there's something better coming out of this. And I feel you connecting too. Like, yeah, at least, they're not going to be doing drugs. I know that's a really strange analogy, but that's what we're doing here. Now, I feel like what you're saying going forward is like, you know what? You're agreeing with that at first, but then you're like quickly coming into this skull of flowers. But I feel like this is honesty and trying to bring in this good feeling, but also identifying what the truth is here. Yeah, but if they're only not doing drugs when they're in jail, that's not a solution. That just means they're blocked from doing what they want to do. And the moon card coming right in here is kind of like your fears of like, if the only reason they're not doing drugs is because they physically can't do them, because they just can't get to them, that's really not a solution. This is where your God center, your self-loyalty, this is where you need to speak your truth. Maybe nobody wants to hear it, but maybe it's time to bring it forward. Hey, you know what, people? It's great that we all want to wish the best for this person, but if we really care and we really want things to work out, we have to make sure that they're not able to get drugs after this either. We have to make sure that they're set up for success. We got to help them find the help or enforce that help. We got to make sure that we just don't, enable the situation at the very least. We can't just put our heads in the sand about it. Call for reinforcements. It's kind of like you're saying, you know what, if we just smile and nod and pretend everything's okay, it's not. It's not going to be okay. We got to take action. The Two of Wands is saying, making that choice. You know what, we want this to get better. You know what, we all do feel this way. If we really want this to get better and we're really invested in that, we're going to have to make the choice to get involved and, stand in the way of, that relapse. Stand in the way of that going back to what it was. We can't just be like, well, they got caught, so I guess they learned their lesson. Best of luck. We can't do that. We're going to have to step in and make that decision to help this person get to this sunny day. I'm getting you standing up saying, you know what? It is a little scary. It is a little nerve-wracking, but if we want this to get better, we're going to have to step in, calling in those reinforcements for help, making that choice together. We're going to make sure we don't, at the very least, enable this person, and we're going to help them stay on track. We're going to talk with them, make sure they're going to their appointments. We're going to make sure they stay on track. We're going to make sure that, we help them get and live in a place where they're not so tempted. We're going to do what we can for them because they mean that much to us. We're going to help them get this sunny day. And you know what? We're going to enjoy that sunny day with them because they're going to do better, and we're going to be happy for them and enjoy them more because they're doing better. They're a lot healthier too. I don't know if that seems very simple or not, but I'm trying to see if there's anything else here because I feel like as we're coming into this, somebody's addressing a situation that's not really favorable. It's not really nice, but they're getting rid of the negativity and bringing forth some light by addressing it. Oh yeah, this is what happened to this person. And people are just kind of like, yeah, it's okay. I guess they learned their lesson. They're going to have to turn around and, straighten up and fly right now. They're going to have no choice. And they're just saying, you're going to agree with that. And that's okay because when you initially agree with that, that's okay. You don't need to come forward right off the bat. But they're saying as it sinks in with you, kind of like where this is going, I feel you're the one making that decision. Like, hey, just, smiling and nodding is just it's not going to guarantee any type of success. We have to choose to be a part of this. And then things get better for all of us. So that's what's coming next. All right, I feel like that's there. They're telling me we got the message across, so that's good. Sometimes I get to the end of these and I start to question, like, did this make sense? But I do feel like it did make sense. Somebody once called me out on it, that sometimes I go through it a second time just to make sure it makes sense to me. It's true. It is true, because sometimes I get to the end and my brain starts to fail, and I'm just like, what did I just say? Where did we go through this whole thing? All right, let's do the last one. Fluorite. Now, this is a stone, from what I understand, about mental clarity and sharpness, about knowing what you're thinking, about honing in and defining your own thoughts, about having that focus and that strength of mind, your thoughts. I know it's green, but that's like, it's a very strong, like intellectual people, I feel this helps, like people studying like science and things like that, like being very clear and very concise and very precise. That's what I get from that stone. My knowledge of it anyway, so we can do that as we wish. Let's just flip them over. Yep, no, we want to do that. Okay. And I think we're going to do those like that. Okay, one last piece. Don't tell the others. Oh, this sounds fun. Don't tell the others. Oh boy, sometimes I wonder what's going through my mind when I put some of this stuff down. I literally just let the words come out. As soon as it pops in my head, I just write it down. I don't even question it. So that's why some of these may seem a little crazy, because I don't question them. I just write them down. This has like a very diseased feel, a very like septic or toxic feel to it to me. The aqua reversed, I'm noticing the green coming up through the blue, and it reminds me of a lake nearby here. Well, am I saying nearby? Like, I think it's an hour and a half away. That the lake could not be swum. Nobody could swim in the lake because it was so green, because the algae was out of control. And I feel like that's what they're saying here. Like the situation, while the algae is not a bad thing, when it's overrunning the situation, it could become toxic. And I'm getting the Four of Pentacles, somebody trying to let go. Somebody is trying to let go of a situation, but by letting go, by trying to force themselves to let go, they're ignoring some red flags, and it's causing a toxic situation. When it would normally seem like letting go would be good for this person, totally letting go is not a good thing. It's almost like saying, stop being so rigid, stop holding yourself to so many schedules, let go. And instead of like going to work, making sure people are picked up from school and getting, the groceries done and the bills paid, they're just kind of like, screw it all, and I'm not even going to get out of bed. And if people have responsibilities, those people can take care of their own responsibilities. And just like, well, if things happen, they happen, and they just kind of literally give up on everything. That's the energy. Take that with a grain of salt, but I feel like this is somebody letting go, but they're doing it so drastically that things are falling through the cracks, and it feels kind of toxic here. Now, I feel like what's going next is the Seven of Swords with the Mummy. The Mummy is like, this makes me feel like the situation is just way too much. Don't tell the others. I feel this person is asking you this. I feel like this person, because I feel like you were quickly stepping in when this is toxic. I feel like you're helping pick this person up. And what I'm getting here is you're kind of like, you're shaking them a little bit, saying, listen, all right, listen, this is way over the top. You can't just drop everything. Like, you got to get out of bed. There's certain things you have to do. Like, you can't just give up on everything. And I feel like you're telling this person, like, listen, yeah, you should, relax on some things, but you've taken this to an extreme. Like, you've gone to the opposite extreme. You were too rigid before, now you're way too lax now. This is not balance. This is just a different type of imbalance. And I feel like you're the one stepping in and saying to this person, hey, no, you're going way overboard. Instead of being way too rigid, you're way too loose. So this isn't working either way. You're trying to help this person, and I feel the Seven of Swords for you is kind of like you're looking at the situation like, the way they were before, at least things were getting taken care of. This is much worse of an imbalance. And I feel you're trying to figure out what to do next. You're really not sure what to make of it. You're trying to help, and you're trying to find a way to put this back together, but you're realizing, this person letting go, that's not working. This isn't what's going to work for them. So when I'm getting this don't tell the others, like, it makes me a little nervous, but I'm also getting like, I feel this isn't really something to share with other people. Almost like sharing with other people could make it more stressful on this person and just make them go into their shell a little more and make it a little bit more of a damaging situation. So I feel like you're trying to help this person. You're not really sure what to do. You're feeling like them trying to back off or loosen up a bit just backfired very drastically. It was really bad. So you're helping them get back online, and you're like, what, it's better if just go back to the way you were doing things. We'll have to figure out another way for you to help this. They got ancestors reversed too. I feel like they're really, really, really saying, no, this is not to be shared with other people right now. You working with this person is good. But when I'm getting ancestors, like family and friends may not be able to help this person right now. Professional help may be a good way to go. Therapy, things like that, and getting professional help, that would be the better way to go. Because I feel like what they're saying with don't tell the others, don't tell people who are just going to make this worse. Don't tell people who have their own problems, and their own problems could just exasperate the situation. So I feel like it's almost saying don't tell the others, like be very selective. This person probably could help from external help, professional help. What do you call it when people don't say stuff? Like when they legally can't tell other people, like people who are going to keep things to themselves because they're legally obligated to. People like that. Because I feel like that might be more the way to go here, and I feel like that's the way they're saying. Don't tell the others means don't tell other people in that circle, other people that can make life harder for this person. Advising this person to get professional help or see a therapist or people like that would be awesome. That would be great. But not other people who have their own problems, their own issues that could exasperate the situation. Because what I'm getting here is these other people, they got the cauldron here. There's a lot of toxicity here that could come back and just be worse. I feel like this is a bad situation altogether. If you're involved with this, you're seeing this person go into a moment that really just seems to be about face from what they normally do and makes things a lot worse. I feel you pulling them back up, like, no, let's go back to the way you were doing things. It was better than what you're doing right now. Let's go back. I see you not knowing what to do with this person. The best advice I see for right now is to advise that person or try to help them get professional help. I feel like there's only so much you can do for this person. They seem very complicated. But they're saying don't pull in these other aspects right now. It feels very toxic here. It feels like people have their own patterns. It's not even, like, I feel like the red flag here is, like, it's not people trying to be toxic. People who just have their own problems, their own patterns that they're working through. I just don't feel like they could help right now. So keeping them out of this seems like it's better than pulling them in, but getting this person to get professional help elsewhere, that could really make a difference for them. I wanted to say there's something else for you to do, but I feel like that's what they're saying. They're saying don't include other people in this. Keep it to yourself what happened, and encourage this person to get professional help. That's what I'm getting. That if you really want to make a difference, that's what they're saying would make the biggest difference here. That's what would make the best positive movement here. And I think that's the message. That's the mental clarity, to realize that these people can't help, but professional people probably could. All right. I'm going to let that be what it is. Thank you for watching. I hope that helped. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.